Staggering numbers there, as reported by Alex Hogan, a 400% increase in apprehensions. And that doesn't tell us how many people escaped apprehension, Congresswoman.
No, that's absolutely correct. And obviously that was very emotional for me, as my mom is a Cuban refugee herself. But what we have to understand is that when my mother came here, there were protocols in place that were followed. Right now, there is no protocol, there is no process. It just seems that it's a completely open border, and it's gotten completely out of control. And I visited there about a month ago and saw firsthand that our CBP agents are being overrun by the cartel and smugglers that are bringing these individuals and making about $500 million a month doing it. So it's a very dangerous situation. It's not just a humanitarian crisis, but it's also a national security crisis. And I've urged President Biden personally, after the State of the Union, to address this issue, to return back to the protocols that were put in place by President Trump. He had stemmed the flow of the illegal migration. And yes, we should be working together to try to modernize and streamline our immigration system. But we can't do any of that if we do not stop the legal flow that is occurring right now.
Well, what is it at the Biden administration that has them not continuing, I guess, to look the other way as this migrant surge goes on?
No, it's unconscionable that they have abdicated their responsibility to secure our nation's borders, because we know, and they know at this point, that the cartels are running the show, and it is a complete criminal enterprise that is operating this way. And as they're diverting the attention of the CBP, there's actually a bunch of other nefarious activity occurring at the open parts of our border, including gun trafficking, drug trafficking, sex trafficking. And so this is something that has to be addressed. They can't continue to ignore this. It's a very dangerous situation for everyone involved. Those migrants who are being transported, the American citizens who live in our communities, and the cost that it's coming to, not just to the American citizens. His answer has been so far to give more money to corrupt governments in Honduras and Guatemala. And that is something that should be concerning. But just today, they announced that they want to give another $2 billion to house these migrants. And remember, we have American cities across our country that are unfortunately suffering greatly with homeless epidemics. We have American citizens that are struggling, seniors that are continuing to try to make ends meet. And the amount of wasteful spending that is coming from this administration, when all they have to do is roll back the executive orders he put in place in January 20th, go back to the migrant protocols that were put in place by President Trump, and return cooperation with the three nations to our south, that we're cooperating under the Trump administration to try to stem the flow.
Well,